Oh my gosh, let's do another video. Because it's just something that's coming up freaking down because of Ninja Steel. So anyways, yeah. Might as well talk about it. The Victor and Monty problem / situation. Oh man, it's really hard. I tried to figure out, did Bulk and Skull was that exactly the same way they did for Bulk and Skull? Was that exactly the same way? And sadly, I just kept on thinking, I'm like, no. I mean, Bulk and Skull, they were written into the show. They were written in with the first season where they were part of the school. They were enrolled in the school. So of course you'll bump into Bulk and Skull. And in season 2, they became detectives and, well, they actually were dominant. That's the thing, is like, they were dominant. They were part of Power Rangers, where it's like, okay, we have Bulk and Skull Detectives Agency along with Power Rangers. And was it something that was like, why the hell is this in here? Show us more Power Rangers. No, it actually added to the story. And in Power Rangers Turbo, didn't they turn into freaking damn chimpanzees? And then they didn't really even address it that much. And in Power Rangers in Space, that's when we actually got to the point of Bulk and Skull not even truly being a part of it whatsoever. Yeah, they actually written out Bulk and Skull. The only thing that we saw Bulk and Skull in, which I can't really remember much, but I just think that the ending was when Bulk and Skull came back. Like, Bulk and Skull came back, and then Bulk and Skull showed up in Lost Galaxy, but they realized to themselves, we have Bulk and Skull here, but the freaking the series got real. The series got too freaking real, especially with Kendricks actually getting obliterated. So with them to actually have Bulk and Skull being like, oh, we have comic relief and they're with a genius, there's really nothing we can do on that one. And they did show up in Wild Force, and yeah, I have a video on the whole entire thing that goes on there, but hey, whatever. So anyways, we're talking about the Monty problem, the Victor and Monty situation. So same deal with Bulk and Skull, where we actually had them in the school, which that makes sense. Of course you'll bump into them in school. That makes sense. And then we had episode 8. Yeah, episode 8. And episode 8, you can get a pass on that one because everyone is like, oh my gosh, there's a celebrity and he's going to have tickets, free tickets we can win. That makes sense. Then episode 9 was the aftermath of it when they failed to win. That I can buy as well. It's like, okay, that makes sense. That makes pure sense, where it's like, oh, okay. So, yeah, they couldn't actually have made a big deal. Plus, I technically think it's not even needed to be known. It would just be cool. Well, I don't know. I think it would be cool to actually just be like, oh, we see how Victor and Monty snuck in, and now they're in part of the crowd. That makes sense. But they decided to shoehorn them in and do the whole Goofy movie thing, where Max and Goofy just all of a sudden stumbled upon it's like, yeah, that freaking scene. It's like, yeah, I mean, but the thing is that Goofy, they did it better and they did it well. It was well implemented. And plus they even made a foreshadow of like, Dad, do the perfect cast. And it's like, wow, man, it just blew everyone away. But of course they were the main characters, unlike Victor and Monty, where it's like, yeah, they're not really the main characters. They're the comic relief, but even so, that was not even well thought out. And it's pretty stupid. I mean, it's a kid show. Even though it's a kid show, it's like, well, technically, couldn't they have actually acted like sound guys and just brought those freaking... It's like, it could easily have posed as them, and chances are they'll be like, who are you two? Oh, whatever, just put it over there. It's like, they won't freaking damn care. But instead, you decided to make them hide in the freaking speakers. And it's a kid show. It's a kid show. Even though it's a kid show, it's like, well, but still, the speakers shouldn't actually be working. Yeah, it's like, there's your flaw. They were inside the speakers, and the speakers are hollowed out by some way and no one noticed. I'm like, yes, but still, yeah, people will begin to talk. And I bet kids will actually ask too, because kids aren't stupid. It's like, yeah, kids aren't stupid. They know that speakers need stuff in them to work. And well, there they go. Those two just popped out of them. How the frick did the audience hear them, though? It's like, how did they hear the guitar and everything else? Frick this. Episode 10 is where it gets even worse. Episode 10, they could have actually have not even did that, and I would have preferred he would have just had 2 bodyguards with him. That makes even more sense than, oh, he got 2 interns. Guess who it is? It's Victor and Monty. Oh, that. Oh, some good funny hijinks will come from them when you have Victor and Monty in the mix. And I'm like, they shouldn't even need to be in here. This one actually sounds like it should be a touching episode. But here you go, and you had to involve those 2 in there, and didn't even think, because, well, go ahead and watch the episode review, but a rehashing, you could have made it very, very a emotional episode where the fact of the dad did not know that the mom actually put a ribbon in the tree. And that would actually have been like a, oh my gosh. Yeah, and bring him to tears. That would actually have been a nice touch. But you did something stupid and watch the episode review, or heck, watch the episode to find out what they did that wasn't that. So, do we have a problem here with freaking damn Victor and Morty? Victor and Monty, my gosh. Thanks, Japan Anime. Thanks so much for what you just did. But anyways, do we have a problem here? Sadly, I think we do have a problem here. They're going to show up even more. They're going to show up in the next 10 episodes as well, which, unless they implement it to the part of where it's not bad, and plus they're at school, so it makes sense. That's the only way how you can make sense of it. It's like, unless you can actually make it so it's like, oh, well, that makes sense why they'll be involved with it. If it's not, like, for instance, the whole dad thing, which I'm like, well, hold on 1 second. How can you guys be interns during the school year? It's like, yeah, we're just finding more plot holes. It's like, it makes sense that, oh, it's a summer gig. And even so, it's like, dude, you fired your interns for no good reason. I guess that's true. You can do that. But on the other hand, that's not how things work. That's not how things work at all. But yeah, I think we seriously do have a problem here. I don't know what's going on with Saban's mind. Maybe they're still saying, but we love Bogan Skull. Bogan Skull make kids laugh. And it is for the children. It's for the kids. And I'm like, listen, man. Bogan Skull is something that was iconic back in the day, but now would not fly unless you have some idea of what the frick to do. Personally, I'm like, hey, what you could do with freaking Victor and Morty and Victor and Monty, which I'm not going to say something horrible or bad. That is not kid-friendly. I'm not going to say that, but I'm just going to say you could actually have donated that time for more stories, or heck, even just have Mick there. It would be cool to just have Mick. And at least the good news is that they could save their butt even more, because, come on, guys, you have the freaking Tusk Megazord. I mean, you have the Tusk Zord, you have the Astro Zord, and they go out there plain as day. Yeah, they go out there with a plain freaking Megazord. It would be cool where Mick could have actually have had like a few seconds or a minute to say, hey guys. It's like, yeah, just a nice little few minutes. Like, hey guys, I can't actually send other Zords out. It's not a good idea. I'm working on those. I'm trying to actually figure out something even better. It's like, yeah, trying to upgrade them or stuff like that. And then you can say that for the Gold Ranger too. It's like, yeah, I'm upgrading your Zord and Megazord as well. So that means, oh, no wonder they can't summon their Zords, the other Zords either. It's because Mick is working on them. That freaking does wonders. Unlike right here where you're like, so why didn't they actually go against that freaking monster with the souped up Megazord? Why didn't they use Tux Zord? Or why couldn't they actually just use Astro Zord, blast them, game over? It freaking damn helps. I know I'm just shooting even more problems that they have, but I'm just saying to donate time for Victor and Monty is a very big mistake. Unless you actually had an airtight episode where I'm like, oh, you have some extra time to spare. Okay, that makes sense why you would put Victor and Monty in here. Other than that, you can actually donate the time for other stuff that actually deserves to be mentioned. And it actually will help stabilize your freaking stuff. Like, for instance, if you're trying to say, hey, kids, buy our repainted Megazords, and then today you have a Megazord that doesn't even have the thing that you're like, oh, but you should buy it anyways, even though it's not in the show today. Like, nope, that's not how it goes, people. Nope. You're gonna have to freaking have an explanation why they didn't use it. And they didn't. And they didn't. Oh my gosh. It just gets very, very messed up. But let's wrap this up with Ninja Steel and say, yes, we have a horrible problem on our hands. Unless Saban snap out of it and stop freaking going with Bulk and Skull or needing a clone of Bulk and Skull, it's just going to actually add worse damage to it. I can understand this might be them crying, saying, we didn't have Bulk and Skull in the movie. I can understand that. Heck, you could have just named that kid with the frizzy hair that bullied Billy Bulk or Skull or something. Or Bulk and Skull or Bulka Skolovich or something. You could have just named him something where it's like, oh, yay, at least we have a bully that can actually be funny. Yeah, but your idea of bringing Victor and Monty, which, yeah, Victor's different. He's actually a scholar, while Monty's also a scholar too, but he's a lackey. Yes, they're a bit different from Bulk and Skull, but it's still Bulk and Skull, you know? You can put them in pretty dresses and do what they did that one time in Power Rangers Zeo, but they're still Bulk and Skull. You need to let them go. You need to let that freaking damn demographic go. I thought you were going to use Mick. I personally thought Mick was going to be this goofy guy that you're going to still have and use, which makes sense. It's like, yeah, Mick is a goofy freaking guy, and I really hope it's not because of damn money. It's like, again with the money, like, oh, but him turning into a broom or something, or hey, him adapting to the boringness. It's like, they'll think it's boring. It's like, oh, Mick actually trying to stay hidden in freaking on Earth in high school. Oh, well, it's very hard to do, and it will be boring for people to see how Mick actually tries to save them, which I think that would actually add. That would be a cool add-in. It's like, oh, well, Mick almost got freaking found out, and he almost saw the freaking command center, Collision's command center, that's in their school. But, hey, well, he's able to divert it, and it was very cool and funny. Instead, no, Victor and Monty. You guys do have a problem here, and hopefully, sadly, there's really nothing we can do, because they most likely have all 40 episodes ready to go. Dang. He's like, dang. Hopefully the next time they will not do it, and they will just step back and say, we don't need any comic relief. You can go for the kids. The kids actually came here for Power Rangers. As for comic relief, it's tops if you get it right. But this right here is not getting it right. You're just shoehorning them in. And yeah, it's kind of funny, but on the other hand, it's the kind of funny that you find from Mike Tyson's Mysteries and Robot Chicken, where it's just a surprise! Ha ha ha! What a twist! Not, ha, you did so good, man. Oh my gosh, Bulk and Skull with their dumb idea. Or Bulk and Skull, they freaking got the footprints of the Power Rangers, and oh, it shattered on the floor. Oh, you stupids. Sadly, no, it's not like that. I mean, it might be kind of like that, but unless they actually make it seem natural, fluid, all it is just nothing but a nuisance. Your situation, you really do have one. Just stop living the glory days, people. Live the glory days with writing stories that actually is very good. Not the freaking Live Back in the Day where Bulk and Skull was just funny comic relief and Power Rangers needs comic relief. You've shown in other series and seasons, which, yeah, I guess you guys just don't remember what you did back in the day, but it's not time for you to wake the hell up. Come on. Get back to where you used to be. Not this. Not this. You still have Power Rangers in freaking stasis right now. They're on life support, but come on, you could do better than this. I